Hi everyone. For anyone who has been reading this, I am alive and well, but far from safe. As my neighbour and I were waiting for the coast to clear, I saw my garage door open at approximately 3:27 AM, and right then me and my neighbour booked it to his car. As we were leaving, I saw the light in my bathroom turn on, and I nearly threw up realising how easily he had got in, and how I had just been a sitting duck an hour prior. I've been fantasizing over and over of how if I had stayed there, my neighbours would have called me telling me he was in my driveway, and I would have heard my garage door open with dread, just knowing I was absolutely fucked. Once we were in the car, we sped off to the police station. Police gave me the usual rundown of questions in this type of situation, like whether I knew this man, when and where my first encounter with him was, and whether I could identify his car / if I managed to write down his license plate. I told them he had only come 2 times prior and that both times it was too dark to even tell, even with the street light. When the man had parked in my driveway, one of my neighbours who had still been on the lookout said that she saw the car was a grey Volkswagen with no license plate. She went on to say that she saw the man type the code into my garage, go inside, and turn on each of my lights, as though he was checking the whole house. The man stayed there for 5 minutes, according to her, and proceeded to get back to his car without taking anything, and sped off down the street. She notified the police immediately, and they have been searching for him ever since then. Nothing has come up. We returned to find that the house had been left relatively unscathed. The police did not find even a trace of DNA. Whoever this man was, he was meticulous as all hell, and somehow had gained the knowledge of what my garage code was. It makes me shiver to think he may have even been watching me as I typed it in earlier in the week. God only knows what other knowledge he has to track me down. My parents have still yet to return home from their trip as their plane was delayed. So as of right now I am alone and still at the hotel with only a bottle of Jack Daniels to console me. A couple of police cars have been stationed around the area of my house looking for the guy, and they're all waiting upon his arrival. I'm not leaving this hotel until this fucker is caught. I don't think I will be able to sleep tonight. I'm hoping this is the night he finally can't track me. The police have advised me to stop using any form of social media that can be indicative of where I am. That means no Snapchat, no Instagram, no Facebook, nothing. They told me I can use my laptop as long as I remain as low profile as possible. This means all I can do now is wait for the police to call me and tell me that the stalker has been caught. Now, I'm going to try and figure out just who this guy is and why he might be trying to stalk me. Theory number 1. My 9th grade Italian teacher. So I went to a private school and this teacher had basically been one of the biggest lunatics I have ever met in a school system. He was very outspoken in the way he described politics and very mean-spirited during his time teaching. He would always make fun of students, had sometimes fallen asleep in classes, and would always make perverted comments towards girls I knew. So one day I decided to write an email to the dean asking him to please fire the man from his teaching position and explaining the unacceptable behaviour he had whilst working. It worked, and I've never seen the man since. Now the reason I think he could be a possibility is because he never particularly liked me. In fact, I feel as though he singled me out in a lot of instances and picked on me. I don't know if he ever found out I sent the email, but if he did, I'm extremely worried. I can't tell if it was him or not when he spoke in my backyard, as I was in full adrenaline mode whilst I was screaming at him. I would say this is a not likely suspect, but I'm just not sure. Theory 2. My Christian deacon from back in 2nd grade. I used to be a part of his church program a while back when I was in elementary school. Out of all the head figures, there was one that actually stood out to me. Deacon Anthony. He was a middle-aged man, very soft-spoken, and he always had been very particularly nice to me and my friend Kevin. He would often bring us candy, talk to us about our home life, and treated us more fairly than the rest of the kids. One day my friend Kevin had told me that Deacon Anthony had asked Kevin if he wanted to go home with him to hang out. Kevin had said no to him and told me. I told my parents about this, and they had immediately contacted the church and told them about it. After that, I never saw Deacon Anthony again. My parents later told me that they had contacted the board and he was removed from the church. If this is the guy, he must have had a massive personality shift after the incident, because the way the man happily told me to have a nice day did not match up with the one he had when I was younger. Theory 3. My classmate Derek from 8th grade. Derek was one of those insecure types who would always get off on making other people feel small. He was your standard 8th grade middle school shit-eater who deserved nothing but a good ass whooping, which, unfortunately, never came. However, what did happen was that I started a rumor about him that I do not wish to bring up, but it pretty much ruined his entire reputation and made him a laughingstock. He never found out it was me as far as I could tell, but from what I heard from my hometown while I went off to public school, is that at our public high school, the rumor had not stopped. He had turned into one of those quiet kids who never talked. Keep in mind, this kid literally had told my whole friend group to stop hanging out with me, so as far as I can tell, this revenge was extremely justified in my mind. This may in fact be a prime suspect, as he would most likely know where I live. I tried finding any sort of social media about him, but nothing came up. This guy is a ghost and I have no idea what he's been up to. Theory 4. Some complete stranger who I have no association with. Maybe this is just a genuine old-school stalker who seems to take pride in picking out their prey from a random crowd. No one I have seen in this town for the past week has seemed particularly odd. The only one that comes to mind was this weird cashier at 7-Eleven who seemed particularly in love with his job. He may have some form of Asperger's syndrome, or just maybe he takes pride in being a cashier, but he was always very polite with his customers when he had been interacting with them. I had gone to get a soda from the fountain, and as the store was empty, he asked me, "Hey, is that all you're getting?" "Yeah, this is all." "Oh, well, congratulations, it's free!" I thought, sweet, a free soda. This guy is the shit. I thanked him a ton as he was smoking a cigarette outside, and I said, "Have a good one," and left. Now I know what all of you must be thinking. This is definitely the guy, he's a fucking cashier, for crying out loud. Well, I'm just not sure. This guy was probably in his 30s, seemed extremely grateful for his low-end job, and just seemed content with what he had. He didn't strike me as a stalker. But then again, I haven't been back to the store since, so he may be still there or not there at all. Time will tell. I might have to stop by tomorrow and do a little more investigating. As we speak, it is 11 PM again, and I'm staring at my hotel window scrolling through Reddit. I'm still dreading the moment I see the car flashing high beams pull into the parking lot, so I will probably just be looking out my window the entire night. I'll post updates again if necessary. Appreciate you all. Bye for now. 12:43 AM. I'm reading all of your comments, guys, and just so you know, I can't get a hold of guns as easy as most of you think. I live in a state where that shit does not fly. The best thing I have right now is pepper spray and a baseball bat. 1:37 AM. Call me a lunatic, but I left my room to go get some fresh air. I couldn't stand being in this small-ass hotel room for one more second. I was bugging out like crazy though. Every person I saw seemed like a threat to me. I started talking with this one guy at the hotel lobby. Says he's been traveling from state to state on some sort of self-indulged journey across the country. I asked him if he has any experience with stalkers, and he told me that he had been receiving anonymous phone calls for a couple of years from some guy. I asked if he has ever encountered one in his backyard or anything, and he just looked at me funny. I explained to him the situation, and he wished me the best of luck. Nothing out of the ordinary, but it was nice to have some real human interaction while I'm losing my mind. 1:64 AM. Alright, one of the janitors must be fucking with me. I spent the last 10 minutes searching for my phone and asked someone outside my room to call it for me. I listened for the ringing, and it's in the fucking safe, and the password is not the one they gave me. What the fuck? This is fucking ridiculous. Whoever fucking did this is going to get torn a new one. I'm going to the manager right now to get this sorted out. 2:08 AM. I'm demanding a different room. I'm not staying in the same fucking room one more second. The whole staff is in there now trying to figure out the safe password. Meanwhile, the manager is looking for the janitors who have been in my room to ask what the fuck they were thinking. Fuck this. I'm tired, I'm worried, and now I just lost my fucking phone. Fuck. 2:24 AM. It's not the garage code, guys, I checked. Even if it was, why would it be, and how the fuck would the stalker even get into my hotel room, let alone rewire the safe? 2:24 AM. Guys, I'm not leaving the hotel room, okay? I already paid the money to stay here, and I don't have any other place to go that's not like 100 miles away. I have no car. I got here in an Uber car, and at least here there's over 100 people. The stalker is not going to come into a hotel room full of people. 2:40 AM. Okay, now you guys got me worried. I'm sitting in my hotel room, all alone with no phone. No way to call an Uber. No way to call the police. I'm starting to think one of the janitors got bribed to do this. I now not only have no way of driving away from here, but I have no way of contacting any family or anyone that can get me away from this fucking hotel. I'm going to wait another 45 minutes, and if they don't open that safe, I'm demanding they call an Uber for me and I'm driving the hell out of here. 2:35 AM. Someone just knocked on the door saying that the safe is open. I told them all right, and they asked me to come get it. I asked him if he can slip it under the door, but he said I need to go get it myself. I told him I would in a couple of minutes, and that he'd be waiting. I don't know what to do, guys. You're all fucking with my head. 3:10 AM. The man said that the phone is in the main lobby if I want it. I'm on my laptop next to the window, and I could have sworn out the corner of my eye I saw a car flashing its high beams. I don't know if I should hold out till morning or get my phone and leave. 3:14 AM. Guys, I am not waiting till 3:24 for this guy to fucking come into my room and jump me. I'm packing up and getting the fuck out of here. I'll keep you guys posted on mobile while I get my phone back. 3:16 PM. Alright guys, I'm staying at a friend's place for now. Just to clarify, when I said not a trace of DNA was found, I meant there was nothing that was found to trace this guy back. Like a glove or fingerprints on the garage keypad. The police did not do a full investigation, obviously. The guy still hasn't been found. My neighbours have told me no one has been back to my house, and my parents are currently staying at my aunt's down south. I got my phone back and there was a missed call from some guy named Nick Sullivan. What's strange is his name was never put into my contacts. I've never met anyone named Nick Sullivan in my life, and I don't know how it's in there. I tried calling back and it just went to voicemail. Creepy shit nonetheless. Maybe I'm just paranoid, I don't know. I'll see if I can make another update tonight. Bye for now.